So Rabbi Leichter is a Rosh Kollel or Mashgiach in Eretz Yisrael. He spoke about a topic in Baltimore at a Chinuch convention. And the name of the topic was, are the Gedolim normal? Okay, and he said the following story. The answer is yes, they're normal. And the question is, how are they normal though? What does it mean to be normal? Is it important to be normal? And, okay, so he says, yes, it's important to be normal. We're going to talk about what it means to be normal. And they are normal. Okay. Well, how are they normal? If they're learning Torah, we're going to, okay, so here's the story. So from the Gemara we just learned, this is a classic reason why Bachrim come to yeshiva, and at some point it turns into all people do is learn. They learn all day because it becomes very clear, and if you learn more, you'll see Bittul Torah is the worst avera you can do. And that's what's taught in the Gemaras, that's even in Halacha, there's, okay, and you have the Gemara like this, Yeshiva Bachrim don't have to do Parnasa, they don't have that. So they learn Torah day and night. So Rabbi Leichter came to yeshiva, he loved music, and he used to play the piano and the keyboard every day. But, yeah, except for Shabbos. He came to yeshiva, and after a while, he stopped it. He realized, you know what, this is Bittul Torah. Why play the piano when I could be learning Torah? And he saw everybody else is just learning. It's almost like an embarrassment. Well, he's playing the piano. All these Gemaras, what pasuk allows him to do that? Okay, so that's what he did. The Mashgiach Ravolba came over to him, a very special Mashgiach, and he came over to him and he said, I know that.
How would he learn Torah while he was singing?
Well, that's why he stopped singing. I don't know about singing, but actually when you learn, there's an Indian to learn with a tune, so that one reason you might remember it better, but also might be other reasons too. People learn with a tune. You go into a Beis Medrash. The Beis Medrash is the exact opposite of a library. It's a study hall of Torah is as loud as can be. Everybody's singing, different, everyone, it's as wild.
But what about you play the piano while you learn?
So we don't see that. But, okay, good. That's a firefly. That's very nice. He came to learn Torah because Torah is like fire. So the firefly came to learn. Okay, now. Yeah, he came from the window. He said, so Mashgiach told him, he said, I want you to play the keyboard every day for a half hour. Every day for a half hour. Okay? Now, does anybody have a question on that? Wait, please don't put the phone in your mouth. He should be learning, right? Anyways, he played the keyboard every day for a half hour. After a while, there's a charger in my room. Okay, go find it. Okay, after a while, he started to feel like, again, he's wasting his time. So he went back to Revolvo. He said, do I really have to play every day for a half hour? Why? And he said, yeah, you have to play every day for a half hour. And he said, can I listen to music every day for a half hour? He said, yeah, you don't have to play. You could listen, but you have to do it. Every day for a half hour, take the headphones out and listen to music. That's what he used to do. He would put the headphones on. He had these really big headphones, he said. And he kind of looked like a rock star. It looked a little bit weird. Something like that. And then after a while, he thought, this is crazy. Every day for the rest of my life, I have to listen to this music. So he went back to Rav Volva, the Mashgiach. He said, do I really have to do this every day for the rest of my life? And Rav Volva said to him, he said, no, you don't have to do it every day for the rest of your life. But let me explain to you something. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to you a love and a talent for music. There's going to come a time where you're going to find that talent, that koyach, you're going to find it in Torah. And at that time, then you don't have to listen to music anymore. You don't have to play the keyboard. But until that time, you have to. Because if you don't, that koyach is going to become crippled. That talent's going to disappear. If you don't use it, it's going to just disappear. So until that time, you have to do it. And he said, there came a time, I think he said maybe 10 years later, he actually found the koyach, he found this skill in Torah. And he explained like this. He said his love for music was actually, what he used to love is he always wanted to be a conductor of an orchestra. The guy who wears it almost looks like a bekisha. He stands in front and he has that stick and he goes like that. Like that guy, there's a whole orchestra and the violins. Dov, you know who I'm talking about? Okay. And he used to love listening to songs with all these instruments. And sometimes the song, to many people, they didn't really like the song. But he was able to tell, actually, this is a beautiful song. If that violin would go like that instead of this would be a beautiful song. Or if you would add the triangle, this would be a beautiful song. Or take it out. He was able to figure out the one instrument. There's hundreds of instruments, but he was able to figure out it's not pshat that it's a bad song. Everybody else turned it off immediately. They hated it. They couldn't stand the song. But he was able to figure out actually... Let me see. No. I think it might be behind the couch. I don't know. There. Here, use this charger, okay? Just sit over there. Okay?
I'm not going to sit there.
Okay. It has to be plugged in. Okay. So he said he had a special love for doing it and a talent for doing it. And one day he realized, he was in yeshiva, he said he became a mashkiach, I believe, of a yeshiva. Now we know there's two different types of mashkiachim, by the way. There's a mashkiach of a kitchen, like the kosher and everything. But there's also a mashkiach in yeshiva. Mashkiach means to pay attention. So the mashkiach of a kitchen means they're paying attention to the food to make sure everything's kosher. The mashkiach of yeshiva is paying attention to the yeshiva bachrim's ruchnias. Are they steiging? Are they growing? Are they not? And he's guiding them, telling them what to do. So he ended up somehow in that position, and he realized that a lot of times there were certain yeshiva bachrim, they were sent to him, and Rebbeim told these bachrim, I guess it was almost like they were all messed up. Like just, I don't know if they lost their love for learning, maybe even lost their love for mitzvahs, or just things were going wild. And Rebbeim told these bachrim, you just have to you're doing everything wrong. You just have to start from scratch. All the stuff you're doing, just stop and we're starting over again. I don't know the exact stories. But Rabbi Leichter, he was able to hear the story, and he said, no, you know what? Actually, you're a beautiful Ben Torah. You're doing this little thing wrong. That's it. If you would change that, everything will be different. That's the only... Actually, you're doing everything right. The problem is this little thing. And if you would change that little thing, everything will be different. And I can't necessarily think of an example right now. Yeah. And he said that was his talent in music, and now he had a special love for doing this for Bachram, and he even was able to wear the same outfit. It's the same, the Bekisha, the black. He's the Mashgiach of Yeshiva. Okay, now I know Dovi thinks it's over, but really the story continues. The story continues over here. Now, Rabbi Leichter, he said he had a child. He has a son, and his son used to love to play soccer. His son loved playing soccer. Now, like Dovi. So, now here's the thing though. In Eretz Yisrael, things are much different. In Israel, things are much different than in America. In America, if you love to play soccer, you play soccer. You go ahead and play soccer. There's plenty of B'nai Torah. You can get plenty of friends around. You can get a soccer game. And there's no problem with playing soccer. But in Eretz Yisrael, the sports is not played amongst Charedim, amongst the ultra-Orthodox Jews. They're not into sports. This is what he said. The people who play soccer are the Chilonim, the secular, which in Eretz Yisrael there's a friction over there, and in Eretz Yisrael, in Israel, the secular also is not like in America. In America, they're supportive. They just don't know. They don't know about Torah. They don't know, but in Eretz Yisrael, there's more tension between the two. And in order for his son to play soccer, he's going to have to hang out with people who are not a good influence at all. They don't. Not only do they not keep Torah, they probably don't like the Torah. They're not. They're going to be a bad influence on his son. So his father said, "You can't play soccer." Rabbi Leichter told his son, "I don't want you playing soccer." But his son said, "Nope, I'm playing soccer." Okay. But so eventually, Rabbi Leichter said, "I'll tell you what. How about this? We'll go to Rav Wolbe, and we'll ask him what to do." And somehow, to that, the son agreed. It shows you the type of Amunas Chachamim, despite the fact that the child wasn't into learning, but he did have a lot of Amunas Chachamim. He trusted whatever Rav Wolbe said. That's what Hashem wanted him to do. So they went to Rav Wolbe, and Rav Wolbe heard the story, and he said, "Your son should continue playing soccer." And Rabbi Leichter said, "What do you mean? Like, how long? Like every day for a half hour?" Like he remembered when he was in the yeshiva every day for a half hour. And Rav Wolbe thought about it. He's like, "You can't play soccer in just a half hour. You need a good hour and a half, 2 hours." Now, he wasn't even playing soccer for 2 hours before they went to Rav Wolbe. Now he's going to be playing soccer 2 hours every day. So now he's even playing more soccer. So it's like unbelievable. So he asked Rav Wolbe, he's like, "What's pshat?" He said, "You have to let a kid be a kid. He said, one day he's going to grow out of it. One day he is going to love learning. He'll be in the Beis Medrash. He'll be learning. But right now, this is where he's holding. He's playing soccer. He likes soccer. So you have to let the child grow up normally, and that's how to do it." Okay? So the topic of his shir again was, are the Gedolim normal? And he said like this: where do the Gedolim get this idea from? Some of these Gedolim, they've been learning day and night from a young age. He said Rav Wolbe probably never touched a soccer ball. I heard that maybe he did. So, but how does he relate? He doesn't love soccer. How does he know that you have to let the child play soccer? So he said like this: the Gedolim made sure that none of their koichos became crippled. None of their talents evaporated and just crippled. That means, although the Gadol himself doesn't play soccer, but somewhere in his personality, there's something that is similar to soccer. Something else. It's not soccer. Maybe it's something else. I don't know what it is. And he didn't ignore it. So he was able to relate. He's just like, he made sure he grew up normally. He was nice to himself. He recognized Hashem made him. Hashem gave him certain koichos, talents or interests, and he didn't ignore it. And one day he found it in Torah, but based upon that, he was able to give hadracha, guidance in regards to soccer. You've been listening to an extract from last night's shir on Masechta Brachos.